What the hell is going on with Gran Turismo 7? The game was just offline for basically 24 hours, and they've made earning currency in the game more difficult. The community is pissed. You can't play the game offline. I want to talk about what they've said, why I like playing the game, but this is just ridiculous. Thank you so much for watching. If you like these videos, please consider hitting that subscribe button, hitting that bell to know when they go live. I do appreciate you watching. And if you'd like to donate money to Ukraine, I'm raising money. You can head on over to bit.ly/Let's Help Ukraine. The cause is Project Hope. They are trying to get food, medical attention, and whatever the Ukrainian people need in a great time of need. So if you want to help, bit.ly/Let's Help Ukraine. Thank you so much to everybody who has donated this far. Now let's talk about less serious things for just a second. Gran Turismo 7 was just offline for 24 hours straight, meaning that you could basically only do arcade races after sitting and waiting for the menus to finally chug through and send you through to the main screen. I played an arcade race yesterday, trying to get first place. Didn't quite get there, but the point of the matter is, it has brought up a lot of serious issues with the Gran Turismo structure. Not only are microtransactions heavily in your face about the game, but it has a 700% more expensive microtransaction rate. But let's start with the server topic. So the first thing is the servers are back online. Let's hear what they said about this server issue. To all our users, I want to explain what happened in this update. Ultimately, before the release of the 1.07 update, we discovered an issue where the game would not start properly, in some cases on product versions for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, which is ironic because when you take the game offline, nobody can start it. So you took your game offline and then nobody could use it. I remember when I made a video, I was like, hey, this is great. You can play the game offline. And it turns out what that experience actually is, it's being able to do arcade races. That's all you can do. You don't earn in-game currency. There's no other way to experience it. It's just absolutely bizarre to me. There's no reason that this game needs to require an online connection. There is an entire single-player component. As a matter of fact, the cafe experience largely takes you through all of the single player things, and you can't progress any of that unless you're online. There is no reason that you need to be online for that part of the experience. Anyway, let's continue reading. This was a rare issue that was not seen during tests on the development hardware or the QA sessions prior to the release. But in order to prioritize the safety of the save data of the users, we decided to interrupt the release of 1.07 update and make a 1.08 correctional update. Oh, so it goes further than people couldn't launch it. It sounds like it affected save data if you encountered this bug. So definitely needed to come offline. Great. But okay. So I got to give them that one. If it affected save data, thank you for saving my Gran Turismo 7 save data. Separately, this has highlighted a lot of issues with the DRM with the game. The fact that it just doesn't need to be offline. Hopefully they correct that in the future. One thing that the 1.07 update, that 1.08 still has, is it throttled your earning of credits. So basically what fans were doing is they were running one race over and over and over again, and it would give you like 30,000 credits every 8 minutes. Somebody did a stat breakdown here. Let me see if I can find it really quick, because they did a stat breakdown about what you could actually earn for playing for a set period of time. And fans are not happy about it, right? So let's see here. So I have this website up. It's not helped at all by the game's microtransactions. While not the first GT to feature this cash for credits mechanism, GT6 holds that record. GT7's microtransactions are considerably more expensive, even when comparing the most cost-effective item in the current game to the least in its 2013 predecessor. Combined with the 1.07 update, hobbling what was already a bit of a grind to earn cash, it's led the to accusations that the title is crafted around pushing players to buy in-game credits, especially as the microtransactions didn't go live until the minute the game launched. So basically all these reviews came out. Nobody knew about the microtransaction stuff. And then the reviews go live without a mention of the microtransactions. And then they hit us with the fact that they're just ridiculous, basically. And the website, this is GT Planet. This is an enthusiast Gran Turismo site that loves Gran Turismo. They play the crap out of it. And I don't see anybody out there saying Gran Turismo is going great right now. Not PlayStation fans, not even the fanboys. Even here's MBG's reaction to the situation. Dumbest thing Sony could have done. There's a lot of concern that they are going to get greedy with microtransactions in their live service games going forward. And there's been a lot of negative press surrounding this GT7 as is. Not a good look at all. So, like when MBG is calling you out, like he's a big PlayStation fan, right? He makes nothing but PlayStation videos over on his channel. And he's saying, this is dumb. And the article he's responding to is a VG247 article where, so basically, following microtransaction criticism, the latest patch, you know what it does? It reduces the amount of currency you can earn in the game, further pushing you towards microtransactions. The whole game is like, it's such a mess. Look, okay, I'll be honest with you. I've been playing a ton of Gran Turismo 7. Gameplay wise, when it's online and functioning, it's a lot of fun. I actually bought my first starter sim rig. I got the G29. I got the clutch. I've been playing on it a significant amount, at least in the arcade mode yesterday, because that's all I had time to do, unfortunately. So I like Gran Turismo 7, but this credit thing, it's going to cripple the game. And all the bad press around this 24-hour downtime, it's not a good look. So anyway, talking about this microtransaction thing, following microtransaction criticism, Gran Turismo 7's latest patch makes it harder to earn cars. And going back to I'm sorry, I'm all over the place with this because it's nuts. Here's how long it takes you to earn cars in these games. Gran Turismo 7 is one of the most expensive games to earn money in. Consulting GT Planet's own GTpedia, it's easier to see why there were questions about GT7's economy setup. Even at launch, it ranked among the slowest of the full price titles, though the rate of earning credits was firmly mid-pack. Taking the most effective tactic available, or meta for each game in the series, the approximate credit earning potential ranked GT7 at 3rd overall. It was only beaten by Gran Turismo 3 and Gran Turismo 1, which worked offline, by the way. So it looks like Gran Turismo 7 version 1.07, you can use 0.85 million credits an hour. That means you would be racing one race, doing nothing but doing that one race for 1 hour straight, and you get 0.85 million credits. And then the community actually broke down. Oh man, where is it? They broke down how long that would take you in real world time. And basically it's 17 hours, 17.8 hours for the most expensive car in the game, the $20 million car. It's just unacceptable. So taking these prices into account results in a pretty stark picture of just how much of a grind the PS4 and PS5 titles are in the game, or time taken to buy just one example of the most expensive vehicles. This is how long doing the optimal strategy in every Gran Turismo 7 game takes to buy the $20 million car, or the most expensive car. The only one that beats Gran Turismo 7 is Gran Turismo 5, which took 23.3 hours or 315 races. As of version 1.07, they have increased the amount of time it takes you to earn 20 million credits to buy that super expensive car from 10.9 hours to 17.8 hours or 333 races. Something is messed up with your economy when your users... The solution isn't to throttle the credit economy because people are spending nearly 20 hours grinding one race to buy one car. There's something wrong with your economy if it takes 20 hours to buy the most expensive car in your game doing that strategy, right? So imagine all the other $1 million cars, all the cars that are like super expensive. You're going to be playing this game for tons of hours, and it's not like the racing enthusiast community is going to bounce because they buy all the cars. They're going to be working on their lap times. They're going to be, they're just going to be playing the game. There's your online races. There's all these different things that you can do. Gran Turismo 7 just needs to do something about this microtransaction filled mess of a game. Continuing, let's hear what they had to say now. I'm sorry, I had to go off a little bit there. This was a rare issue that was not seen during tests and development, so they did the thing about the save. So it seems like the downtime, if it affected save data, I'll give you that. You had to pull the update. You had to do 1.08. This is the reason for the delay. My sincere apologies for the late report to everyone. Also in this update, some event rewards have been adjusted. I wanted to also explain the reason for it and our plans going forward. In GT7, I would like to have users enjoy lots of cars and races, even without microtransactions. It's such a weird way to phrase it. Why is that even part of your consideration? Why would you throttle the earning economy? Like, I don't get this philosophy. At the same time, the pricing of cars is an important element that conveys their value and rarity. Your $20 million car takes 17.5 hours to unlock now. It took 10 hours to unlock it doing a grind, which was basically you would select this one track and you would just do it over and over and over again. And you would do that for 10 hours. That's the optimal strategy. No, most players aren't going to do that. Your hardcore are, and who cares if that's how they want to do it? At the same time, the pricing of cars is an important element that conveys their value and rarity, so I do think it's important for it to be linked with the real-world prices. I want to make GT7 a game in which you can enjoy a variety of cars a lot of different ways, and if possible, would like to try to avoid a situation where a player must mechanically keep replaying certain events over and over again. You've designed your whole game that way. When you're going even through the cafe missions, you hit points where you have to upgrade your car to spend your credits. So you have to get your car the correct rating so that you can participate in some of these events. And often you're burning through a significant portion of your credits because the game is so stingy with your base credits. So once you go through all the story stuff or the cafe stuff and get to the end game, then you're grinding for your car collection, right? So players are going in, they're grinding these races so that they can get the car so they can compete in your game. Like, you can't, if you want to be a competitive sim racing type player, right, you have to have the cars that are required, which means you're going to go do the 10, 20, 30 hour grind to get the set of cars that you need to participate. It's so bizarre to me. Like, sure, you want players to experience a wide variety of cars. You make us do that through the cafe. So I don't buy it, right? Like, I've had to drive, I don't know, 10 different cars throughout the cafe. You have to do muscle cars. You have to do just cars in different classes. Like, that's fine. Like, take us through it that way. But once we're in the end game, once we're doing those online races and stuff, let us earn the cars how we want to. Anyway, I continue. I want to make GT7 a game in which you can enjoy a variety of cars lots of different ways, and if possible, would like to try to avoid a situation where a player must mechanically keep replaying certain events over and over again. It's just such a disconnect with what racing enthusiasts want to be doing in these racing games. Like, if I'm playing Forza and I want to get the best car, I go get that car quite easily, usually. Like, you can go to the auction house. There's different ways to get it in game without involving microtransactions whatsoever. And then you buy it and you go do your races, right? In Gran Turismo 7, if you're in the competitive scene, you need to have certain cars to remain competitive. And you've just made that less fun to get to. We will in time let you know the update plans for additional content, additional race events, and additional features that will constructively resolve this. I'll give them that one. They're working on something where in-game we can constructively resolve the issue of the credit throttling. But right now it still feels like a microtransaction nudge. They're trying to get you to spend more money on microtransactions, right? It pains me that I can't explain the details regarding this at the moment, but we plan on continuing to revise GT7 so that as many players as possible can enjoy the game. We would really appreciate it if everyone could watch over the growth of Gran Turismo 7 from a somewhat longer term point of view. So apparently it's just like he has this idea, and he's the game's creator, right? So obviously that's his vision for what the game wants to be. But if your entire community, I don't see anybody saying, oh yeah, I totally get it. If your entire community is telling you this is dumb, your game doesn't work in offline mode, there's no reason for that. There's no excuse that the game doesn't work in offline mode, because the entirety of the cafe experience, with the exception of maybe one mission, can be experienced offline, right? They have you go do races on, classic tracks, have you learn those tracks, and then they take you through like vignettes about classic cars and give you a little bit of history. I actually really enjoy that part of it. The fact that it doesn't work offline is just stupid. It's not necessary in any way, and everybody knows it. The idea about having everybody watch over the continued growth of Gran Turismo 7 from a somewhat longer term point of view. Look, I play Destiny. Those games are grindy. You know what they like? The game is about going out and collecting cars, collecting the best lap times, things like that. It's not about throttling the credit earning economy. And when you have the second worst game economy with heavily priced microtransactions, a 700% increase, actually, and that's via, let me find this. I forgot to bring up that article. Gran Turismo 7 microtransactions are 700% more expensive than GT Sport. So when you look, 100,000 credits is $2.49 or $1.99. 2 million credits is $19.99 or $15.99. So that's a 700% increase over GT Sport that you're paying for the same cars that were in GT Sport. So they were $5 in GT Sport. Now they're $40 in GT7. And now it's harder to earn the credits in game. It's the biggest criticism about the game, and you double down on it. Like, that's just not the way to treat your community. So they got to figure this stuff out. The game's being heavily criticized right now. And unfortunately, it's a game that I really enjoy. And I think that's part of the reason that I'm so frustrated about their handling of the situation. I'm looking forward to getting into the end game, improving my racing game, and being able to purchase these cars. Seeing that it's now going to take me 17 hours to get the $20 million car, or it's like, if it's 17 to get 20 million, that means I'm looking at 2 hours to get like a select 2 to 3 hours for one car. I don't like it. And I don't think the community likes it. And I don't know why they're doubling down on it. It doesn't make any sense. It's very frustrating. That's sort of my thought on the situation. That's what's going on with Gran Turismo 7. So to recap, they pulled it offline for 24 hours. They made the in-game currency even harder to earn. And their microtransactions are 700% more expensive than they were in GT Sport. And they want us to watch over the future projected growth of Gran Turismo 7. I hope Gran Turismo 7 figures out a lot of these growing pains. My solutions I would propose are make it playable offline. There is no reason the cafe experience needs to be the way it is. You need to give players more credits. You're being too stingy with your credits. It's just ridiculous. It shouldn't take 17.5 hours to buy the most expensive car in your game. It sounds like they are working on that one. Those are my 2 notes for the whole video. Anyway, I kind of wanted to talk about this one today. Didn't mean to go off for 20 minutes, but thank you for watching. If you like my videos, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell to know when they go live. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you want to donate to Ukraine, bit.ly/Let's Help Ukraine. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate that. Help out Ukraine. Also, thank you so much to the members. If you want to become a member, you can click that join button right down there. I'm going to get out of here. I didn't realize 20 minutes just flew by. I'll talk to you for the next one. Bye, everybody.